What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's going on, y'all? It's Friday, which means it's Fitness Friday. And I am here to give you your Fitness Friday discussions. Well, who am I? I am Crystal Taylor, the owner of Fitness is Not a Game. I specialize in helping women lose weight without dieting or exercise for more than 30 minutes at a time. If you are here with me now, say hey. If you're catching this on the replay, do me a favor and type replay in the comments. And what are we talking about today? Today we are talking about staying fit while traveling. Y'all, and drink some water. Let me know how many of y'all go on vacation and then you come back and get on the scale and see that you gained not just some weight, but a lot of weight. If that's you, let me know in the comments. And let me know where y'all watching from too. And I'm having this conversation because y'all, folks, outside is open. Folks is in these streets, folks is on these planes, folks is going all these different places, and all the traveling, all of the eating, and people are gaining a lot of weight. But guess what? They want to work out, and that's fine. Let's talk about how you can stay fit while you're traveling without working out. Let me know if that's something that you want. And I'm letting y'all know I'm actually going to do this in a two-part series. Today, I'm only going to give you 5, and next week I'll come back with some more if that's cool with you. All right, so let's talk about number one. What's one thing that you can do? And I'll tell y'all, look, let me back up. I do a lot of traveling. A lot of traveling. Just got back from Pittsburgh the other day. Last week I was in Vegas. Before that, I think we're Atlanta. Before that, Sierra Leone. Just a lot of travel. And it can be difficult to add some workouts in. Like you can still work out if you want to, but when you're traveling with groups or it's just vacation, you're going to celebrate, whatever the case may be, some conferences, it can be difficult to actually get a good 30 minutes to work out. So there are other things that you can do to make sure that you don't come back and get on that scale and get ready to chuck that thing out the window. So the first thing I want you to do, type a 1 in the comments if you're ready for tip number 1. All right. So the first thing I want you to do is to engage in like active sightseeing stuff. Now, the cool thing about most places, a lot of times when people travel, they will walk, but a lot of times folks are jumping Uber, especially if it's hot, like, oh, we were in Vegas last week, y'all, and it was on average every day 110 plus. What? So it did make you want to get outside too much now. So I get that. But if you can, go on some walks. Walk around and see the environment. Take walking tours. Go to the markets. Find your local parks and things like that. Like when we were in Vegas, you can walk up and down the strip, walk up and down Fremont. Wherever you go, there's always somewhere to walk as opposed to just saying, hey, let's catch a car somewhere or just hang out in the hotel or hang out in the rental house. Don't just stay there because the more you just stay in one spot, the more likely you are to just eat. Because yeah, you could be hanging around, especially when it's a good girls trip and y'all done rented a house, you hang out. It's so easy to just end up laying around, drinking and eating. Let me know if this sounds like it sounds familiar to any of your trips. Because I'm gonna be honest, I've gone on trips with my girls and we rented houses and we would go grocery shopping before we when we got there and we would easily lay around in the house. But with that, oh, this wasn't something I was going to add to it, but why not? So, with that, yes, our house, if you do rent a house, try to find a house with a pool. So, you ain't got to be a good swimmer. I just started taking swimming lessons a couple months ago. But if you most pools at homes are don't have deep ends, so you can at least get in the water and wade around in the water, walk in the water, do water aerobics, laugh, dance, all of that good stuff. Just find some type of way to add activity and even dancing. Going out with your friends, dancing around the house, that could help. Just don't be lethargic. Too often, we go on real vacations where we're like, I ain't doing nothing but laying up. I want to lay down and I want a cold frozen drink in my hand all day. That's all I'm gonna do. When you do that, guess what? All you're doing is taking in calories, and all them calories just chilling. You're not even burning them off, and then you wonder why you come home weighing 4 or 5 pounds more. Y'all, as a matter of fact, tell me what's the most you've ever gained on a trip? Put that in the comments for me. What's the most you've ever gained on a trip? All right. So that's the first thing I want you to do. Be active. Get out there, go sightseeing, walk around. But number two, what you can also do, right? There are so many cities that have bikes for rental, right? Take some type of active transportation. Even if you get the scooters, just balancing on the scooters require energy, calories, and all that good stuff. Now, you're not going to burn as many calories as you would if you were walking or riding a bike, or even electric bikes. My brother-in-law loves a good electric bike, but it gives you something to do, and where it's more activity as opposed to just sitting on the bus. And I know some folks they love, like a good double decker tour around the city or a boat tour. Those are cool. But if you can get around from A to B on a bike, on a scooter, even the segways or whatever, try those. Just find different ways that you can move your body. Real simply. Now, I'll tell you, I haven't been on one yet. 5 pounds. Ooh, how long was your trip when you gained 5 pounds? That's the other thing. Tell me how much you gained and in what time frame. Right. I would say I think the most I gained on a trip, it was a cruise. Cruise is a whole nother thing. We could talk about that. Maybe I'll add that next week. But the most I gained, I think, was maybe 5 or 6, somewhere around there. We went on a cruise for about a week, about 5-day cruise, and I think I came back with 5 pounds, a pound a day, something like that. Y'all know how it is. We kicked it. We had a good time. It was our anniversary. Both my sons had just graduated, so it was just a big old celebration time, right? And excuse me, and I was active on that trip, but I did a lot more eating than I did more activity. 5 pounds in 5 days. See, that's about average. So, number 3 thing you could do: take the stairs when you get a chance. Like, seriously, elevators and escalators, personally, I feel like if you are going less than 2 flights up, you should be on the stairs. And that's facts. Like, I don't understand. Can we have a talk, y'all? Can we have a talk? Let me know if we can talk. When folks wait for an elevator just to go to floor number 2, unless you are physically impaired, unless you have a lot of luggage or baggage, you should be taking the stairs. Like, for real. It's a good way to keep those legs active. And the thing about the stairs, that's working everything, but mainly your legs. Your legs are your biggest muscle. So if you are working those big muscles, you're burning more calories, right? So, and do we need to have a conversation about that? Let's see. All right. Maybe we will. All right. Let's have a quick conversation about that. So when you use your big muscles, that's why, like, you see people talking about leg day. I had legs today, and that's why I'm home raised that thing. With the bigger muscles, it takes more energy for your body to repair itself, right? And recover. So the more energy it takes, the more calories it's burning, right? Because it's a bigger muscle. So that's why going up and down the stairs when you get a chance, as opposed to taking the elevator or the escalator, it's just a little extra you can do to help you not gain as much weight. And the cool thing about it, since that's technically like strength training, because it's like a resistance type training, because you're using your body, right? The thing about that is that you're going to burn calories longer than you would as opposed to if you just went out. Now, I do like going out for a run. I love going for a run in different areas. Like, I just like that. To me, that's a great way to sightsee. And I'm going to tell y'all, I'm about to be honest, and don't y'all judge me, okay? Sometimes I like to run around the neighborhood and pick out food spots for lunch or for dinner. I think it's pretty cool because now I can use that morning to go out for a nice run/walk, and I'm looking to see what's going on in the neighborhood. Like, oh, that looks like a good food. And it's the thing. I mean, a good restaurant. This the thing. When you go out for a walk or run, whatever, nobody says it has to be fast or Olympic pace or anything like that. Be very leisurely. But and I stop. I'll stop and I read a menu and I'm taking notes. So later on, after I shower and all that good stuff, now I know where we can go to get something to eat and save time. Because once I start getting hungry, I ain't got time to be thinking about where we gonna go. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Y'all tell me if y'all got them people that you travel with who can't make no decisions, take forever getting ready, all that good stuff, and then by the time you get to the restaurant, you hungry, 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 hungry. I ain't got time for that. So I will go out for a run and scout out the place, right? For us to go eat later. So that's another bonus tip because that wasn't even what I was talking about. I was talking about taking the stairs because it is helpful, y'all. We can't be lazy all the time. And yes, I know, like you're like, I'm on vacation, I'm chilling. But we cannot take a vacation from our health. All right? We can't. We can't. Like, I'm not saying that you got to be on vacation, counting calories and all of that stuff. Because I actually recommend for my clients a lot of times I tell them when you go enjoy yourself, just be mindful. I don't want you to sit there and not be able to enjoy yourself because you're looking at the menu beforehand, and if they don't have nothing that's super clean, all the salads is nothing, y'all can't go. No, just be mindful, right? So I'm not saying that, but with that, also still make the better decisions when you can. And if there's stairs, there is an option, and you only going up to floor 2 or floor 3, take those doggone stairs. All right. They're cool. They're cool. Can we move on to number 4? Y'all want number 4, type of 4 in the comments. Now, this is one of my favorites. Y'all, get out there and enjoy yourself. Do recreational type activities. I already mentioned swimming, like going to the pool, but I don't know if y'all daredevils like me. Skydiving, rock climbing, uh paddleboarding. I mentioned dancing, playing beach volleyball. There's so many different things that you can do. Oh, what else did we do? Zip lining. There's so many different things that you can do that's active, right? Can require you to climb up something, to run something, to jump, to compete. Doing those things. And honestly, y'all, those are some of the funnest stories from vacation, right? Yes, you can have a good time laying around the pool or at the beach, cracking jokes, talking trash, all that good stuff. Yes. But when you have active activities, or well, active activities, that sounds redundant. When you do recreational activities, there we go, that can lead to so much fun, so many different stories, so many different things to do. And feel free to have fun. Be a kid. Play. Find a splash pad. Go to a water park. Do something. If y'all not picking up, it's really just about doing something throughout your day. Because we ain't said nothing about food. We ain't said nothing about food. Because I know that when you're on vacation, you like to eat. I'll tell y'all, I'm one of those people. I'll be doggone if I'm going to travel somewhere and I'm going to eat at a fast food chain or any big box restaurant that I can find where I live. No, not gonna do it. I'm always looking for the local hot spots. What y'all usually eat? What's the best place to find this? Oh, what are y'all known for? So food is a part of travel. Let me know if I'm the only one who does that. I don't think I am. Hey, Miss Helen. I don't think I'm the only one who does that. And I do think that that's part of exploring, right? You want to go somewhere and y'all tell me what's some of y'all favorite places to go to eat? Like what city, what country has like the best foods? I know that when I go to Ghana, I want some jollof. I know it. I'm looking on the menu, looking for jollof, and then I'm gonna build around it. I know that. I know that if I'm in Cali, luckily they got avocado everywhere. I'm gonna build around that. If I go to Philly, I want to try to find the best Philly cheesesteak wherever it is, and that's fine. So that's why we're talking about ways that you can just stay active and stay moving so that you don't feel bad. And you shouldn't feel bad about enjoying local cuisine anyway. You shouldn't feel bad about eating point blank and appear. And that's another discussion um, about how we look at food. But it is part of it. And especially when you're traveling with people. Sometimes you don't have a say or a vote in where y'all going to eat. This may just, it may, maybe you're on a planned trip and all the spots are chosen for you already. Maybe you with somebody who real picky and y'all rather just go to that doggone restaurant to shut them up so that they don't sit there and complain everywhere you go. But it should not be too much of a weight on your brain thinking about the food. So just build around it by being active and not in order to earn your food, but just to have a balance because it really is about how you look at it. All right. Let me know if that makes sense. Yeah. Like seriously. Oh, New Orleans. I'm gonna take drink up, y'all. Y'all, y'all. There's this restaurant in New Orleans on everything. I could go out to my garage, lace up my gym shoes right now, and walk to New Orleans to go to the Ruby Slipper. Y'all gonna make me pull out food pictures. And yes, I am that person. I take pictures of my food, especially when I love it. And you know when I love it because in the picture, I've already started eating it. And then I'm like, oh, let me take a picture. Remember this. Look, the Ruby Slipper was so doggone good. Seattle, if I go to Seattle, I'm gonna find me some oysters. And I don't do oysters Rockefeller. I know I'm one of the weird people. I actually like the raw oysters, and they're not that bad, you know. But there's certain places we gonna eat. But I also make sure I walk a lot. Ruby Slipper. I think it's Ruby Slipper, Key. I don't think it's Ruby Slippers. And I believe it's on Canal. I believe it's on Canal. Look. Y'all, look, look. Ruby Slipper is probably my all-time favorite restaurant ever. Probably. Look, look. We went there for that's a shame that you got me out. Y'all got me thinking about the food now. We went there for brunch, I believe it was. So doggone good. So doggone good. But guess what? Also ran to the pier in the mornings and walked around a lot. So make sure y'all stay moving. All right. And then my last one, number 5 for the day. Make sure you find ways to have active relaxation, right? So even when you're hanging out by the pool, by the beach, you can still stretch. You can still do some yoga and just even take a nice, relaxing walks on the beach, right? It's one thing when you are walking around on tours, like that can seem like blah, 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 busy, busy chaos and all that. But if you say, you know what, I'm just going to take a walk on the beach. Ain't nobody walking fast on the beach, but I'm telling y'all, if you get a chance to walk on the beach and or run on the beach and or exercise on the beach, baby, you are taking your movement up to a whole different level. Like that resistance from the sand, it makes your body work a little bit harder. So you're getting more oomph out of it as opposed to if you were just doing it on flat land. Let me know if that makes sense. All right. And I'll tell y'all, oh, speaking of like stretching and stuff like that. Yes, Keith said, always take that walk after a good meal. It's a great time to let that food settle and digest and enjoy the surroundings. Get out there and have a good old walk, right? But I'll tell you, one of the best things I ever did, well, the coolest, I would say. Y'all, so how many of you have ever been to Egypt? Let me know if you've ever been to Egypt. And if you've been to Egypt with Urban Intellectuals, let me know. And if you haven't yet, you should uitravelmovement.com. But that trip, when we went to Egypt early this year, Egypt was very, we moved a lot in Egypt. In those 10 days we were there, I think I walked over like 51 miles or something like that. It was a lot of walking, a lot of walking. And there's a lot of activity. We rode camels, we rode ATVs, we climbed into the pyramids. Like we saw, walked and did a lot of tombs and things like that. But what we did, and we also cruised the Nile, right? So what we would do in the evenings after those, busy days, we would actually stretch on the top deck of the boat after those sessions to get our muscles back together, right? So just thinking about different and encouraging your people to do it with you. And honestly, having a good stretching session is good for everybody because what you don't want to do is to have to yourself miss out on anything from your trip because your body's worn out, because you're tired, because you can't keep up, because you're cramped up, because you're too sore, all of that. So, and or even have to leave somebody behind or stay back with somebody else because they can't, because y'all didn't stretch. So either way, if you are on any trip, and I just mentioned Egypt because I just thought it was so doggone dope to stretch on the Nile. Come on now. Oh, um, but for every trip that you go on, and honestly, just in your day to day, you should be stretching. Y'all, we getting older, and the plan is to continue to get older, right? But in order for that to happen, we have to take care of ourselves, and we gotta take care of our bodies. We got to. And stretching is one of those overlooked ways um, that most people aren't taking advantage of as they should. So daily stretching, but especially when you're on your trip. All right, y'all. So that's all. Just want to drop those 5 quick tips on y'all real quick. Anybody who just came in, like, what are the 5 tips on how I can stay fit while traveling? The first thing I want you to do is to um, check out some active sightseeing. So walking tours, biking tours, things like that. With that, have active transportation like bikes and segways and scooters. Number 3 is taking the stairs. Bypass the elevator and the escalator when you can. I'm not saying if you're on the 7th floor, you should always take the stairs. I'm not saying that, but if you're on at least floor 3 or below, think about taking the stairs. All right, just to add a little extra to your day. All right. Number 4, do recreational things. Go swimming, do beach volleyball, zip lining, rock climbing, all of those types of things. Snorkeling. Oh, that's another one of my favorites. Love snorkeling. And then number 5, engage in active relaxation things like yoga, stretching, especially if they got a yoga on the beach. But if they ain't got a yoga on the beach, just go walking on the beach. And as Mr. Keith said, always make sure you get you a good walk after a good meal. It just helps you with your digestion. It's not about earning the food or paying back what you ate. None of that. It honestly is a better way for you to get your digestion going because a lot of times, the majority of the time when we're traveling, we're eating foods that we typically wouldn't eat. And because of that, our bodies can have a more difficult time processing it, right? So you could see a couple things happen. You could be on this trip and realize that your bowels aren't moving like they typically would. Walking and drinking your water, of course, can help that. All right. So, and a lot of times, y'all, I'm gonna be real quick. A lot of that weight that y'all come back with, it ain't even fat. It's in your bowels because you ate all this stuff that you typically don't eat, and your colon is locked up and holding it on. And it's like, what the heck is this? We don't know how to process it. So I will also say that after your trip, make sure that you are drinking a lot of water. Go back to your regular eating pattern and even be more intentional about how you eat when you get back. Not saying that you got a diet or detox. I can't stand when people say detox because most people, when they detox, they call themselves fasting or they drink nothing but these teas and juices and all that stuff. Not saying that. Detoxing just means you're removing toxins out of your body. So that means that you are staying away from fried foods for a while. That means that you are reducing or staying away from processed foods, that you're cooking more at home, that you're using more natural ingredients. So that's what I mean by cleansing your system out. All right. So, y'all, I'm going to let y'all go. I hope you enjoyed this. If you enjoyed this, let me know in the comments. And I will see y'all again next Friday with part 2. I'm going to give y'all some more because I don't want y'all coming back from y'all trips being frustrated. I don't want that. We gonna get you come back now. Not saying you ain't gonna gain nothing. That how you eat is how you eat. But at least these are some tips that can help you so that you don't end up on the side as far on the side as you typically would. All right. So y'all have a fantastic day, and I will see y'all next week. All right, y'all. Bye.